You don't feel it happening. You wake up, reach for your phone, and before your feet even touch the floor, your brain is already drenched in dopamine. You tell yourself you'll scroll for just a few minutes, but those few minutes dissolve into hours. And by the time you look up, your focus is gone. Your motivation feels heavy, and your day has already slipped away. Social media has become the most subtle thief of our era, not because it steals your money, but because it steals your time, your focus, and your ability to think deeply. And the worst part, you probably don't even realize it's happening. This isn't just a matter of discipline or laziness. It's biological, psychological, and deeply engineered. The truth is that the modern attention economy isn't a coincidence, it's a weaponized design. Every social media platform, from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube, has one ultimate goal: to keep your eyes glued to the screen. Your attention is the most valuable currency in the digital age. Advertisers pay billions of dollars to access it. Tech companies spend even more to capture it. And every notification, vibration, or new post is a hook designed to pull you back in. The algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. It knows what makes you angry, what makes you laugh, what makes you linger for just 2 seconds longer. Every scroll, like, and pause feeds a machine learning model that predicts your next move with frightening precision. It's not a coincidence that your For You page feels like it's reading your mind. It literally is. You are not the customer. You are the product being sold to advertisers. And your attention, your limited, precious attention, is the resource being mined. Let's talk chemistry. Every time you open social media, your brain releases a neurotransmitter called dopamine, the molecule of desire. It's the same chemical released when you eat, gamble, or fall in love. Dopamine's job is simple: to make you want more. Social media hijacks this system perfectly. Unlike food or physical pleasure, which have natural limits, the dopamine from digital rewards is infinite. There's always one more post, one more like, one more notification waiting to give you that tiny hit of pleasure. It's a slot machine for the brain, and the jackpot is never ending. The randomness of rewards makes it even more addictive. Sometimes you get a flood of likes, sometimes nothing. This unpredictability, known as intermittent reinforcement, is the same principle used in casinos. And your brain, evolutionarily wired for survival and novelty, simply can't resist it. That's why scrolling feels effortless, yet leaving the app feels like withdrawal. Because, in a very real way, it is. You might think you're good at multitasking, replying to a message while watching a video, checking notifications between tasks. But neuroscience says otherwise. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus and decision-making, can only concentrate on one meaningful task at a time. What feels like multitasking is actually your brain rapidly switching contexts, burning energy every time it does so. This constant switching lowers your IQ temporarily, reduces creativity, and kills productivity. Studies from Stanford and MIT show that heavy media multitaskers perform worse on memory tests and have weaker control over attention. It's not that they can't focus, it's that their brains have been retrained not to. Each time you interrupt your work to check a notification, your brain releases a small burst of dopamine. You feel rewarded for the distraction. Over time, your brain starts craving interruptions, and deep work becomes unbearable. Once upon a time, productivity was measured by how long you could stay focused. Writers, scientists, and inventors thrived on deep work, long, uninterrupted hours of concentrated effort. That's where insight, mastery, and creativity are born. But today, silence feels uncomfortable. When was the last time you sat alone with your thoughts, without music, messages, or scrolling? The average person now checks their phone over 300 times a day. And even when you're not looking at it, part of your brain is still anticipating the next notification. This state is called continuous partial attention, a constant, low-level alertness that keeps you from entering flow. Your mind is always half present, half distracted, and in that state, greatness becomes impossible. The scary part is that your brain adapts to this new environment. Neurons that fire together wire together. The more you train your brain to seek short bursts of stimulation, the harder it becomes to sustain long attention. Neuroscientists call this dopamine desensitization. When you flood your brain with too much dopamine from instant rewards, the receptors become less sensitive. That means you need more stimulation to feel satisfied, and ordinary tasks like studying, reading, or working start to feel unbearably dull. This is why you can spend hours scrolling TikTok but struggle to read 2 pages of a book. It's not that you got lazy, it's that your brain has been rewired for distraction. Social media promises connection, but what it delivers is a distorted reflection of it. You scroll through curated lives, filtered happiness, and polished success stories. You compare your behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. Every scroll subtly tells your brain, you're not enough. And that feeling drives even more engagement, because your brain craves validation to compensate for the emptiness it just felt. It's a vicious loop, one that profits from your insecurity. The more disconnected you feel, the more you scroll to feel connected. And the more you scroll, the emptier you become. What happens when your mind never truly rests? Cognitive fatigue, mental exhaustion. The same way your muscles need recovery after exercise, your brain needs downtime to process, organize, and recharge. But most people never give it that chance. Even moments of rest, waiting in line, riding the bus, lying in bed, are filled with endless scrolling. And when your brain doesn't get rest, your creativity dies quietly. Burnout doesn't always look like collapse. Sometimes it looks like constant low energy, lack of motivation, and the inability to finish what you start. The more you chase stimulation, the more numb you become. It's not just personal, it's global. The loss of productivity caused by digital distraction cost companies billions of dollars every year. Employees spend hours checking notifications, switching tabs, and regaining focus. Economists call this the attention deficit economy, a world where distraction is profitable and focus is rebellion. The average knowledge worker now spends only 11 minutes on a single task before being interrupted. Yet it takes over 23 minutes to fully regain focus afterward. If time is money, distraction is debt, and social media is the most profitable creditor in history. Here's a truth that might hurt. The algorithm doesn't care about your well-being. It doesn't care about your mental health, your goals, or your productivity. It cares only about one metric: engagement. If outrage keeps you scrolling, it will feed you outrage. If insecurity keeps you addicted, it will amplify your insecurities. The algorithm learns your emotional triggers and uses them against you. Not because it's evil, but because it's profitable, and every second you spend in that loop, your future self pays the price. The first step to freedom is awareness. You can't fight what you don't understand. Delete unnecessary apps, turn off notifications, and make distraction inconvenient. If it's hard to open, you'll open it less. Take dopamine detox days. Avoid short-term digital rewards and engage in activities that give slow, meaningful satisfaction: reading, exercise, or creative work. Schedule blocks of uninterrupted time. No phone, no multitasking. Just focus. Don't just absorb information, use it. Write, build, design, create. That's how you regain agency over your mind. Boredom isn't the enemy. It's the gateway to insight. When you allow silence, the mind finally begins to think again. In a world where everyone's fighting for attention, the ability to control your own focus has become the ultimate luxury. Think about it. When was the last time you did something for hours without checking your phone? True focus has become rare, valuable, almost sacred. The richest people in the world don't just own assets, they own their time. And those who can't control their attention will always end up working for those who can. Attention is freedom, and social media, if left unchecked, is the perfect prison. It's easy to demonize technology, but the truth is more complex. Social media isn't evil by itself. It's a tool, one that can connect, educate, and empower. But like any powerful tool, its effect depends on how consciously it's used. The problem isn't the phone, it's how you use it. It's the mindless scrolling, the endless comparison, the invisible addiction to stimulation that's destroying your potential. Your smartphone is both the key and the cage. You decide which. Reclaiming your focus doesn't mean deleting everything and moving to the woods. It means rebuilding your relationship with attention. It means choosing moments of silence again, reading slowly, listening deeply, walking without headphones, allowing the mind to wander, to breathe. When you stop feeding your brain constant noise, something incredible happens. Clarity returns. You start to feel time again. You rediscover the joy of being fully present, not as a productivity hack, but as a way of living. If there's one rebellion left in the modern world, it's the rebellion of focus. While the world drowns in noise, those who master silence will shape the future. Social media isn't just killing productivity, it's training humanity to live without depth. But awareness is the antidote.